Today on OC News, the FBI is still searching for a missing college student in the Dominican Republic.
Titan students are gearing up at GradFest as commencement approaches.
And the Dodgers begin their quest for back-to-back championships in Tokyo.
All this and more coming up on OC News.
This just in tech news. First responder on the police. There's been a lot of collaborative efforts.
I feel blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
OC News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to this week's early show for OC News. I'm Raylene DeLeo.
And I'm Jonathan Zarati. Thank you for tuning in into our last show before spring break.
The Russian-Ukrainian conflict, which escalated in a full-scale war following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, has now seen a potential turning point. Today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced a partial ceasefire with Russia, focusing on protecting energy and civilian infrastructure. The agreement follows a call with U.S. President Donald Trump after Trump's conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday. A joint statement from National Security Advisor Michael Waltz and Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the discussion played a key role in advancing efforts to end the war. During the call, Trump proposed the U.S. take control of Ukraine's nuclear power plants, while Zelensky requested U.S. support in acquiring more missiles. U.S. and Ukrainian officials will meet in Saudi Arabia to coordinate next steps.
The FBI has issued a warning for students leaving the country for spring break. According to the FBI, students who are planning their spring break trips are advised to exercise caution when visiting a foreign country. The countries that currently have a travel warning are Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Spain. The warnings come after disappearance of Sudichi Kunaki, a University of Pittsburgh student who traveled to the Dominican Republic for spring break on March 6th. The FBI recommends traveling in a known group of friends, avoiding traveling by unofficial taxis, and being cautious of new acquaintances.
A new wave of tariff is on the way, and students should prepare for the rising costs. Peter Gibbs has more.
Tariffs have started affecting how businesses price their goods, but how do they affect the lives of students?
That's my biggest worry right now, especially after college. My biggest worry, my biggest stress would be trying to find a job. I'm more concerned about if the prices go up, what will happen to wages? Will they go up? I'm assuming they're going to stay the same.
President Trump is enacting tariffs so there can be more job openings for American manufacturers. However, experts believe his plan will have a negative effect.
The companies that are importing are pretty much increasing their prices by that amount. So the consumer is getting the entire burden of the tariff. And then anything downstream would also get that impact. So if we make buildings with steel, the price of buildings would be increased, and so the price of buildings would increase as well. And so if it's a job creation strategy, it's a complete failure.
The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was enacted in 1930 and impacted the Great Depression, kind of speeding up those events. Economists were afraid of what Congress was doing back then, and now with the new tariffs being imposed on Canada, Mexico, and China by the Trump administration, economists of the present also have their concerns. Students here at Cal State Fullerton are trying to figure out what the impact could lead into their wallets.
I'm not really supportive of all the tariffs because I know the grocery prices are kind of increasing, as well as gas. So as far as tariffs go, I'm not a fan of it because me and my brother, we do cook and everything. But we'll cook eggs, and that's our main source of protein and everything.
Experts say it may take years for there to be a positive effect from tariffs. Therefore, students should prepare for prices to continue going up. In Fullerton, I'm Peter Gibbs, OC News.
With spring 2025 commencement just 2 months ahead, Titans are getting ready for the big celebration. More on ways Cal State Fullerton is preparing students for the event is reporter Gavin Sanders.
Every college student dreams of crossing the stage and finally finishing school with a degree. This year, the class of 2025 will do so with thousands of students doing it right here at Titan Stadium. But where do students start? The answer is GradFest. GradFest is something Cal State Fullerton does to help graduating students get ready with them picking up their graduation regalia, license plate outlines, and degree frames.
GradFest has been going on since Monday and will end this Wednesday. But don't worry, if you forgot to go this week, you can always pick up your stuff at any Titan shop or online anytime before commencement.
So with GradFest, it's probably one of the most hectic times to work, especially at Titan shops, just because we have to keep on our inventory. We have to make sure we are resupplying things, and we also have to make sure like we're packing the right items for each graduate, just because sizes are important, color, tassels is important, and also cap sizes. But I think GradFest is one of the most effective things for graduating seniors, just because or graduating students, just because we have the ability to help them right on the spot, and we don't have to wait last minute for things to happen. So
seniors can line up from any time around 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with people at the front helping students find what they need and what they want.
I'm a senior. I'm super excited for graduating. I got my commencement gear from GradFest. Can't wait.
You can find the pop-out right outside Titan Shops, which is located in the middle of campus next to the TSU, Kinesiology Building, and the SRC. I'm Gavin Sanders. Stay classy, Fullerton. OC News.
Coming up after the break, we have an update on the upcoming weather here in the OC.
And later, we took a look at the astronauts who returned from space. We will see you shortly.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
It looks like things are heating up as spring break approaches. Here's Andrea Restrepo with more for our weekly weather report.
Thanks, Jonathan. After a week full of rain, we are looking forward to the sunny weather. Now let's take a look at the current temperatures. As for the weather today, we currently have a temperature of 78 degrees with a low of 49 degrees. Wind today is going 3 miles per hour with a humidity of 17%. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:54 a.m. and our sunset this evening will be at 7:02 p.m. As for our 5-day weather forecast heading into the weekend, we are looking at a sunny week with temperatures in the 70s and even in the low 80s, as Monday approaches with lows being in the high 40s and low 50s. Although our weather here in Fullerton is nice and sunny, our weather across the country is facing blizzards and strong storms. A strong winter storm is bringing blizzard conditions into multiple states across plains in the upper Midwest. The storm is plowing through the plains with a combination of high winds and snow all the way from Kansas to southern Minnesota. Extremely strong gusts of wind have also been clocked at 87 miles per hour, making it dangerous to travel in 2 locations in the Texas Panhandle, east of the towns of Laura and Miami. That's all for your weekly weather update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Andrea. We have an update on the stranded astronauts in space from last week's show. Both have returned home to Earth safely. After 10 months of being stranded on the ISS, both Butch Wilmore and Suddy Williams have returned home, marking 286 days in space. Both crew members were welcomed home by their families and respective countries, and are set to make a full recovery and as they readjust to Earth's gravity. For the inconvenience that they both crew members float in space, they are both expected to Earth over time for their prolonged mission.
The FDA issued a recall on canned green beans due to potential contamination. Nearly 200,000 cans of green beans were taken off Target shelves due to the recall. The Target name brand Good & Gather stated that the cans may contain foreign objects that may injure consumers if ingested. The cans have been distributed to over 21 states, including Kansas, New York, and California. The FDA has not stated whether or not any consumers have been affected by the cans. Those who recently purchased Target brand green beans are being asked to either throw away the cans or return them to their local Target store for a refund.
Social Justice Week kicked off on Monday. Jonathan Mansour has a chance to speak to some clubs that are taking part of the event.
So personally, I think the impact of social justice is just to bring cultures together, to really just have that diversity within our school.
Social Justice Week gives people an opportunity to experience different cultural clubs. Workshops are held all over campus, including at the TSU and Pollock Library.
My club, Mariachi Titans, as well as two other programs, Mecha and Hermanas Unidas, are going to be talking about the Latino stereotypes in movies and TV. So we're going to be talking about like the types of you see in TV, like why is it this way, why hasn't it changed over time, and how can it be better overall.
Actor Giancarlo Esposito from the hit show Breaking Bad will be headlining Social Justice Week this Thursday. Tickets to his Beyond the Conversation have already sold out.
Yeah, we were just talking about it right now. Tickets are sold out, and I just saw him in Maxine last year. He was like a small character. He did so amazing, and I'm a Breaking Bad fan. But tickets are sold out, so I can't see him, but it's okay.
Here is the remaining workshop schedule for March 20th and 21st. Reporting for OC News, I'm Jonathan Mansour.
Next up, after a short break, the trend-setting giant that once ruled the mall is now packing up its shelves.
And your Titan Sports have more about the latest Dodger opening series in Tokyo. Stay tuned.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before. It felt like it was something that I've always wanted. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to the show. We go now to our weekly sports report with Daniel Tinoco for the Get Down.
Thank you, Raylene. With spring fast approaching, so are some of the big sporting events. From the swish of a basketball hitting nothing but nylon or the roar of the crowd after a home run, spring sports are in full swing. Hopping across the pond, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs duked it out for a two-game series at the Tokyo Dome in front of fans from all over the world, hoping to get a glimpse of all the All-Stars. It was a homecoming for some Dodgers and Cubs players like Shohei Ohtani and Seiya Suzuki as they came back to where it all began. Both games saw performances from Japanese-born pitchers, both signed by the Dodgers over the last 2 off-seasons. Pitchers Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki showed promise as both only gave up 2 runs over a combined 8 innings, with Yamamoto tossing 5 and Sasaki throwing 3. These men follow a long lineage of Japanese players for the Dodgers, walking in the footsteps of former pitchers Hideo Nomo and more recently Kenta Maeda. The Dodgers won both games with scores of 4-1 and 6-3. Heading back to the States, to the East Coast, a comedian had his own fight at Madison Square Garden. New York native Tracy Morgan was attending a matchup between the New York Knicks and Miami Heat when he suddenly became ill. A stoppage was called as he vomited onto the court and had a nosebleed. The comedian was wheeled out on a wheelchair and taken to a nearby hospital. Morgan later posted to social media saying that he was all right and had just a case of food poisoning. He's expected to make a full recovery. Switching over to college, March Madness kicked off yesterday with a game that was for the ages and may have already destroyed some of those brackets. The tournament kicked off with 2 16 seeds fighting and clawing to move on in the chase of glory. The St. Francis Red Flash and the Alabama State Hornets traded blows early as each team kept it close with scoring from all over the court. Heading deep into the second half, the Hornets led the Red Flash by a single score before junior Chris Moncrief drilled a clutch 3 to tie the game at 68 with 40 seconds left on the clock. The game remained tied until the redshirt sophomore Amar Knox laid it up for a walk-off bucket to send them to the next round, where they will be playing the number 1 seed Auburn. That's all we have for you in sports, and good luck to those who have a March Madness bracket. Back to Jonathan and Raylene at the desk.
The winner of the Mega Millions jackpot that amounted to over $1.2 billion in California has been revealed. The woman named Rosemary Casarotti purchased the winning ticket for December 27th massive $1.2 billion jackpot. She officially claimed her prize on Monday. The California Lottery announced that the ticket was bought at the Sunshine Food and Gas Circle K in Cottonwood, California. This marks the 5th largest Mega Million jackpot ever and the 9th largest in U.S. lottery history. Casarotti chose the lump sum cash option for her Mega Millions jackpot, taking home $571 million in winnings after federal taxes instead of receiving payments over 20 years.
Irvine hosted its yearly Jamboree Fest to give its residents all there is to know about Orange County. Jocelyn Girarte has the scoop.
It's a day filled with fun, learning, and extracurriculars as Parenting OC hosts its annual 2025 Jamboree.
We call it our Jamboree, and for parents and kids, I think this is a great opportunity to find out what's going on in Orange County, what activities are best for their kids, and also have some fun, watch some performances, and get to know the community.
From live performances to hands-on activities and summer camps, there's something for kids of all ages to enjoy.
I'm here today with Parenting OC Magazine at the District of Tustin here in Orange County, California, where we are hosting a jamboree filled with workshops and fun summer activity events for kids, families, and friends.
So we're having a really great turnout today for parents coming out looking for activities for summer for their children. We have summer camps here, like lots of Tustin students out here in the honor choir, in their band and orchestra.
Parents can connect with local educators, health professionals, and get in contact with sports programs and camps for their children to enjoy in the summer. This is Jocelyn Girarte reporting for OC News.
Some things are not forever. Reporter Viviana Garcia looks into the closure of the popular shopping company.
The end is near for fashion giant Forever 21 after accumulating $1.5 billion in debt. Their second bankruptcy will shut down shops across the nation. The closure shouldn't disrupt the fashion market, even though at its peak, it made $4 billion in sales with over 800 stores.
Small company like this going bankrupt doesn't really impact the entire market all that much. But if you think about like a big ticket items like tariff affecting the entire capital markets and investors and economy, right? So that's a big deal. But when a company or two goes bankrupt, it's not really a big deal for the entire capital markets and doesn't have a huge impact on the market itself.
Although the store has been loved by students, they have noticed some issues that may have led to its end.
I used to work there from 2021 to 2021. I worked there for about 4 to 5 months. It was chaos. And we would have to constantly take out new inventory, put away old inventory. We constantly had to throw stuff away because things didn't sell. It was just an overall waste of like product.
I remember when it was bankrupted the first time, and they were selling literally everything in the store. I remember them selling literally like parts of their mannequins. You know, it sucks for the people who lose their jobs and whatnot, but I don't know that I'm ever going to feel empathy for a major corporation like that.
Not really a big fan anymore. I used to be obsessed with it more in middle school. I did not really expect it to like shut down this early, but it was eventually going to happen.
The time to shop ticks as the company shuts down about 354 stores by May 1st. I'm Viviana Garcia, OC News.
Oh, that's just so sad to hear. That used to be my childhood store.
My mom was not going to like that news. Thank you for joining us tonight on OC News. Our next show is coming up at 5:15. I'm Jonathan Zarati.
And I'm Raylene DeLeo. Make sure to follow us on social media at OC News, CSUF, and at Titan TV CSUF. See you next week.